Hey, yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy Carl back at it again. New video, same grind, you already know. I hope y'all doing well on this Friday afternoon, ready to go to art because like always, I'm ready. So today for pre-animation school training art part 16 or 17. I never keep track of those. I just know when I finish working on the video. So for today's pre-animation school training art video, we are officially starting block 3, where we'll be focusing on everything that's stylization, building my own artistic voice, or not building it but actually reinforcing it, and and also we're gonna do a bit of fundamental stuff like draftmanship practice and some other things like value, a bit of composition and all the stuff, But for today we're gonna focus on the stylizing proportion and exaggeration of those proportion as well. So yeah, so it's a pretty straightforward exercise, honestly, not really complicated. Let me show you what I did last week so you can get an idea of what I did. Okay, for a second I thought I deleted the whole folder. I was scared. So essentially what I will be doing is that I'll be taking artists with different art style, though I already have the artists. Some of them is not really artists, just like the global philosophy of their design. Like for example, in my previous video that you should watch if you want to if you want to know what we'll be doing for this block a bit in detail. I talked about certain art style, certain aesthetic that I'm looking for in my own artwork, and it's not specifically an artist. And in this case, I've been studying lately a bit of Nintendo design philosophy, how they do the proportion, and also I wanted to apply some of the 2000 action cartoon aesthetic in my artwork, and so I've been studying that as well. And also I've been promoting a bit of artists in the game industry like Shigenori Soejima, the artist that made the character designs for Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and other Atlas games that they've done before. And essentially what we'll be doing today is that it's really like you will do to study for anatomy, but you're not studying anatomy, you're studying the anatomy of the artists that you like, that you want, that inspire you. So you can apply those same practices in your own artwork. So as you can see, this is what I've done last week, and and I've been doing pretty well. I really caught on some things pretty quick, and also I've been taking some notes to so I can apply it in my own art later on. And then after that, exactly what we'll be doing, I'll be doing a gesture drawing where I'm gonna apply I'm gonna exaggerate a reference, like I'm gonna pick a reference. Last week I was focusing on doing female bodies. This week we're gonna focus on doing I'm gonna be focusing on doing male bodies, and I'm gonna be alternating each week. So I'm not gonna just level up my female character drawing skills, but also my male drawing character skills. And so I've been putting emphasis on some body part to create the certain aesthetic that I'm looking for, and we're just focusing on the base here. The sketch part, the form, the shapes, the volume, like in block 2. And later on, we're gonna start adding the details. There's gonna be a day where we're actually gonna focus on details, which is gonna be redraw some sketches, or just redrawing a whole new sketch of a character of my choice, or create a new original character. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do after. We're gonna pick a reference, and from there apply what I've learned from the practice earlier with the proportions and all this stuff. So like always, pick your pen, paper, tablet, or whatever you need to draw. Let's go together for I don't know how long this video is gonna be, and enjoy the good music. I'm gonna do the first one live with you guys, so just so you can have an idea of the process of instead of just seeing what I've already done, so you can see what it looks like. And then after the first one, I'm gonna speed up the whole process. And yeah, let me just pull out my timer here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna bring my first reference here. Where you are, here you go. So like I said, I want to learn the Nintendo design philosophy, and so we're gonna apply this. All right, I'm gonna start the timer, skip the break because we don't take breaks here. If my coaches hear that, they'll be like, no, take a break right now. Well, not right now because I'm just getting started. So yeah, so like I said, it's literally like you're doing your anatomy studies. Like you you divide each part one by one. So the helmet, I think I have to include the volume of the hair as well. Does Wario even have hair? I mean, he got hair, yeah, but I never saw him without a hat or without his hat. You know what? I'm gonna assume that just the whatever's left here, you know, this part here is gonna be hair volume. Then there's a head. He has a neck, but it's because, you know, of the stylization, we don't see it. So there's gonna be the torso. What the heck? Okay, that's gonna be the pelvis. Damn knees, bro. Oh, bro, you got small knees. And his feet. We're gonna end with this. Yeah. All right. Then after that, gonna make the aspiration this here. Also, I've not updated, but I've just reset everything from my OBS, so things might sound differently, especially with the mic. And I don't know if the video quality is gonna be better or worse. Hopefully it's better, but yeah. So if I hope everything is gonna go well. I just saw my voice clip here, so let me just lower it real quick. That'll be bad if my voice clip every time I'm speaking. All right. So now we've done the you know, the measurements and all the stuff. I'm just gonna draw the whole thing. Well, the whole thing. I'm just gonna draw the base of it. What's that? Actually, delete the guides. All right. So I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna draw a sphere because I know his head is a box. Let's start tour of it. Like this. And I'm gonna add this shape, this volume here. We're gonna simplify. We're not focusing on the details of those things. That is used. The line that I did here, that's not the eyes. Eyes supposed to be higher. That's Nintendo. So you know what? And we'll add this volume here. Then the ears are just a rounded triangle. Something that I realized with the Nintendo aesthetic is that even the sharper shapes are what you call this, or rounded, you know. Like if you look at the teeth of the piranha plants, they're rounded, like they're triangle but rounded triangle. Even Bowser's spikes on his turtle shell, you know, they're rounded. They're not fully sharp triangular shape, but because they are the most prominent sharper shape, even though they're rounded, you have the impression they are sharp, which it communicate the feeling of danger, evil, and all this stuff. Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bad at those type of anatomy for cartoon characters where everything is compressed into simple stuff, you know, simple shapes like this. Like I'm more comfortable with the more accurate or closer to realistic anatomy, because this is what I've been focusing for all those years that I've been taking art seriously, you know. And that because that's the thing that people keep telling me, like, oh, focus on that. Then when I start doing those type of anatomy studies or those type of studies of stylization, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not able to draw this part here properly. But yeah, but the goal is not to be perfect. You know, the goal is to be able to develop an understanding to why certain things look certain way. Understand the foundation, so you can later on apply this on your own without any issues, or understand why you're doing those things, because there's some people, you know, mostly beginners, you know, what often happens is that they will draw something like this, but they don't understand why it looks like that. They don't understand why the character has those proportions, you know, which is totally fine at the beginning, but as you progress in your art journey, you should understand why you're doing those shapes, why you're doing those forms, why you're doing those what you call this, those proportions, you know. It's like last time when I was on Discord with when I was on voice chat on Discord with people in my community. By the way, feel free to join the Discord. Link is in the description box below. You know, we've been talking about you know, I've been asking questions to some of my peers that are more experienced than me in the artwork, in the art journey, and asking them like, okay, why? Because I'm doing this in my art, but I don't know why I'm doing it. Like, you know, like why I'm drawing the eyes a certain way, why I'm drawing the nose a certain way, the lips a certain way. It's just, I just do it because this is what I saw how people stylize it, you know. But I wanted to understand, and then when I got the explanation, I'm like, oh, now it makes sense. So now when I'm doing this, I know why I'm doing it, you know. So I understand the reasoning of my aesthetics, you know, or why I'm doing certain lines and certain place, why I'm doing certain details, and all this stuff. And this is why you want to study professional artworks, professional artists. I'm not saying that you cannot study artists that are not not professional. When I say professional, I mean like, you know, artists that have a solid foundation, a solid understanding of the fundamentals, you know. You want to avoid you know, you want to avoid artists that are still in the learning phase, like, you know, like you don't want to study my artworks, you know, you don't want to study them, because I'm still figuring things out, and I'm still doing some mistakes that you don't want to combine with your own mistakes, you know. That's one thing you want to avoid as well. If you study like official artworks, like, you know, right now I'm studying an official artwork of Nintendo, the odds that there are mistakes in the artworks are pretty low, but for sure can it be better? Probably, but at this point this is nitpicking, you know. But if you study proven artists, proven official artworks, you can have you're upgrading the odds of making better artworks and reducing your mistakes, you know. So yeah, so you can still study your favorite artists even though they are not proven, you know, proven of having certain fundamentals, solid fundamentals, but just be aware, you know. Just be aware. At the end of the day, there's no perfect artist. There's no perfect artists, just artists that understand how to minimize their mistakes. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, those proportions are so weird to me, so foreign, alien, so alien to me, because it doesn't make sense. Like, why the hand is so big and those legs are so short? But by practicing it, I'm gonna get the hangs of things. Like right now, I can barely like, I know, okay, this is where this is a shoulder. Where's forearm? The fuck? Like here clearly you can see, like, you know, the difference, but here, what the fuck? That's his shoulder? That's his forearm. Like, he doesn't have biceps. What the fuck? Oh man. Yo, oh. But okay, you know what? I'm just gonna simplify it in one cylinder. I guess the color view that's divided like this. But that's so okay. No, this is his bicep. His shoulder is somewhere here, behind his big ass head. Okay. I understand it now, I think. Or I might be completely wrong. Oh, that's so weird. And I'm just gonna draw this shape here for the helmet. A round shape. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, you know. That's pretty much what I do for the first practice, for the first part of the practice for today. And I'm gonna repeat it for the next reference as well. So for the next 2-3 references I'm gonna do, it's gonna be a time lapse. So I'll be right back. Alright, so that's it for the first part of the today's practice. So I was able to do three different artists. So one, Nintendo. Well, I don't know who's the artist for the Batman animated series, but you know, a 2000 cartoon aesthetic, and also Shigeru Soejima art style. And I've been taking some notes. I recorded the part where I was taking notes, but I might cut it just to jump into this part so I can just explain broadly what I observed with this practice here. And something that caught my attention is that last week, when like I said, I was studying female bodies, and one thing that I've realized, and I've realized this for a long time ago, since I've been doing character designs, is that the female characters tend to have longer legs to emphasize their femininity. That's what I was thinking as of today, since till today. I mean, because I just realized that now I got male characters with long legs and medium torsos, medium-sized torsos and small heads. And well, for warrior, it's gonna be specific. And now I was wondering, okay, why is that the case? Because I thought like long legs was the thing that will emphasize the female body, since you know you want to put more emphasis on their hips because they're wider compared to the male characters. As you can see, male characters tend to have wider shoulders here. You know, you have wide shoulders and small hips. You know, going inside like this. And female characters is the reverse. And so I was thinking maybe in this case for male characters, having long legs is just to emphasize their strength, you know, or emphasize their elegance or the vibe that you're trying to give for the characters. Because I know for Soejima in his art style, for Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, Meta 4, characters tend to have long legs in general, always, because he always try to sell, not fancy, fancy is not the word, elegance to the characters, you know, to make them stylish. They look like models, you know, like the people that do the walks with the fashion clothing, all the stuff. That's what the design came from. I remember I saw that from an interview or a documentary about his art style, where Soejima tend to study fashions, tend to study models, and I think this is where he decided to stylize his proportion to emphasize really like the tallness, how tall they are, and by extending their legs and all this stuff. This is something that I was really familiar with for the also Ijima. But for cartoon characters, you know, I was really expecting, like, you know, before I did the study, like I took the Batman reference, I was expecting to him to have not short legs, but you know, I was expecting like the torso would be like the longer part and the legs would be shorter, you know. But no, he really got long legs and short torso. And I think in this case why the artist or the character designer did this decision here is because if you compact the torso, making it a bit smaller, it enhances the musculature, enhance the chest to make it more, you know, like more out there, to show how bulky he is, how strong he is, you know. So I think this is why they compress the torso part. And I've realized this as well when I was doing the head, because when the head was a bit wider, Batman's head felt shorter. Felt a bit too short when I was doing it, but then I start to thin the head, it become a bit longer, you know. So I think it's really like the way you compress your shape and form, it can enhance some body parts. So I think that's why the legs are longer, is to compress the torso and make the torso more beefy, more bulky. And for Wario case, you know, it's I won't say cliche, but I think this is the general approach that cartoonists will go to showcase a strong character. In this case, Wario is just fat. You know, we're just gonna put it just as the facts. He's fat, you know, but he got big arms, like muscle arms, you know, which is quite interesting, you know, because no, well, I guess if you train, you can be like fat and have big arm muscles, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I have to study more realistic anatomy to get this sense of it. But yeah, he got everything is compacted, everything is short. Well, short. You can still see the different proportion. You know, like big head, big torso, short legs, which is the typical stylization that you do when you want to enhance. When you put emphasis on a strong character. You know, you're gonna give short legs, but big torso. For the big head is really like for the cartoony aesthetic to facilitate the expressions. This is what I wrote here. I'm sorry for my bad handwriting. The big head is really like to facilitate the character expression, so it's really noticeable, and also to capture the attention. You want to focus on the character's head to know who he is, and then after that you're gonna go from the head, then go to the arms. Look at there's the key detail, which is the gloves, the I was about to say the M, the W for Wario. Then after that you're gonna go to the legs, which is a, you know, minor part of the body, which is the smaller part, the shorter part. And yeah. And other than that, another thing that I noticed are male characters tend to have more blocky structure, more square shaped body compared to female characters tend to have more curvy structure and more thinner, elegant looking shapes. You know, like the the arms are a bit thinner, the legs are thinner, or actually no, the legs are a bit thicker because of the hips, you know, the thighs and everything. But no, you can make you can make thin legs, you know, it's not a hard set rule, you know, it's just that something that you tend to see in different female character bodies, or at least from the studies that I've done here. So yeah, so that's it for the first part. Now we're gonna move on to the second part, where we'll actually, let me just fuse references here, where we're going to apply everything that we learned into a gesture drawing. So we're gonna do 2 of those today. So I'm gonna start with this one here. Okay, and I hope it won't be YouTube YouTube thingy, like, you know, like they don't like seeing nipples or whatever, you know, man or female, they don't care. You know, I hope it won't be flagged. But yeah, so here for this body here, I want to do something funny. I want to apply whatever I learned from Wario on this body. So the goal here is to make a gesture, but exaggerate it, stylize it. So whatever I done for Wario, I want to apply here. I'm not going to draw exactly Wario's body proportion, but I want to apply certain elements, you know, like big head, big torso, short legs, or to a certain extent. And for the arms, I mean, I will adjust it toward the proportion, so we'll see about that. So for this part, I think I'm just going to leave it as a time lapse because I'm going to do 2 of them. I want to focus, you know, and it's pretty much the same process. Well, I won't, it's just that I won't measure the proportion because I'm just gonna, you know, gonna stylize it. So yeah, so this part's gonna be a time lapse, so enjoy it, focus on your own art grind, or, you know, watch the video while you're doing your art grind, or whatever you're doing, whatever you're grinding on right now. And yeah, I'll see you back on the other side. I'll see you back on the other side. I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, I'm back from the time lapse. I hope we all had a good, productive session. And yeah, so this is the result of what, from what I've learned, from what I practiced earlier on the first part of today's practice, and applied everything here. And yeah, so I'm quite happy with what I came out with. The second pose there, this one here, with the pretty boy over there. The model looking character. I felt like I didn't play enough with this pose compared to the first one. The first one, I literally applied the Wario shape language, Wario proportion, which made it more fun looking, you know. Was really funny. Like, I was imagining another type of character I could draw with it, and it was really funny. But for this one here, the second one, I tried to apply a combination of Suejima proportions, shape language, and a bit of the Batman animated show proportion as well in there. But I felt like no matter what I do, it will stay still close to what the real reference is here. I mean, I didn't bar for bar borrow the proportion I've done here. It's just that it felt too similar. So in this case here, I should have applied the Wario aesthetic on this reference as well, so it will be even more funnier. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think I managed to still change a bit of things. You know, like I've enhanced the size of the legs. If you manage to see it in the time lapse, I even I even tried to tweak the torso. You know, make it like the same or about the same proportion as a Batman torso. You know, like the torso is like a medium size and the leg is really long, so I can have a more bulky figure, a more bulky torso for the character. So we keep the pretty boy vibe, but we making it look strong. You know, like that could be a character that you will use for a show that you know, action show with good looking male character and a secret agent type shit. You know, I can see that really happening with this proportion. Actually, that makes me remember this one show. I forgot the name of it. That was that's not a show, that's a comic, a French comic. I forgot the name. The character has the same proportion, but the head was more round and they were more rounded shape than what I have here. But yeah, so this is actually what I do for this is my Tuesday practice. As I record this video, it's Tuesday. So yeah, so this is what I usually do for my Tuesday practice. So I'm doing Stylize proportion and exaggerating from real life. So we can apply things from cartoon to real life, and from there, you know, really build whatever you want, you know. And one thing that I like with this practice is that it feels really free. You know, I can feel like a lot of artistic freedom from this. You know, like you got a reference, yeah, that's a reference, and then you draw whatever you want with that reference. I mean, this is what I usually do in general, but it's just that I tend to really want to stuck with the reference in the when it comes to the anatomy of it, you know. But I never let myself go outside of my anatomy knowledge or experience with different shape, different forms. You know, like, oh, I want to draw this pose, but I want to make it more cartoony. I want to make it more funny looking. Oh, I like this reference here, but it doesn't have the vibe I'm looking for. But you know, I'm just gonna stick with the anatomy because this is what I know. But you know, with this practice here, I feel like I'm gonna really unlock something in my mindset of my way of approaching stuff whenever I'm drawing, to not stay stuck with anatomy with what I learned. Matter of fact, I pretty much forgot most of the name of the muscles now, but I remember the muscle. I remember the major one, but I pretty much forget everything, the more detailed, smaller ones. But with this practice, I think I can just use what I remember from the realistic anatomy and just enhance it to make it more closer to my vision with my art, with what I want. And when it comes to the finished product, the stylization, the final out style of my art. So yeah, but anyway, that's it for today. I'll let you guys go. Enjoy your weekend, and like always, you know, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss any of my videos. I'll upload every Friday afternoon. And also, you can join the Discord as well. This is where I'm the most active. This past couple of days, I've been interacting more with the community. We've been drawing together and exchanging tips and tricks to improve our own artwork. So if you're looking for a community of people that grind the art, that are about that life, and you want to improve, feel free to join the Discord. The description is the description. The link is in the description box below. And yeah, I'll let you guys go. And like always, keep grinding, take some breaks, and don't slack. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. All right, peace.